birthday to Jason Hunter is celebrating a birthday today. So give him a round of applause. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. All right, that's great. All right, want to make sure that everyone has a pair of these 3D glasses. If you do not have a pair of 3D glasses, please wave your hand. One of our video tour ambassadors will make sure you receive a pair. Is everybody good to go with the 3D glasses? Okay, great. Now, here at Universal, we work on the popular television shows, Desperate Housewives, they're based here, CSI, and Parenthood. And we've also worked on Rango, the Muppet movie, Fast 5, which is now in theaters, and also Cowboys and Aliens. I can show you where a lot of those shows and movies have been filmed. Great, let's have a nice round of applause for our driver. His name is Give him a nice round of applause. All right, take that same hand and wave goodbye to everybody. We are out of here. But before we go too far, I need to mention a few things for your comfort and for your safety, so please watch your screen. We'll record above you in case of emergency, and I'll be back to assist you right away. All right, everyone. Frankie, that's right. Everyone should remain seated at all times the tram is moving, keeping arms and legs on the inside. If you happen to have a small child with you, make sure they're placed in the center of each row and away from the outside gate. If their feet can't touch the floor.
Good.
Oh, I'm sorry, big fella. That's incorrect. There's no smoking allowed on the tram. Be prepared. You can expect to hear loud noises, see fire effects, experience sudden tram movement, and there is that possibility that you might get wet. And these are your studio tour safety rules. All right, we've got an exciting time in store for you today. We're leaving the theme park behind us, and we're about to enter the actual working studio, where some of the biggest names in all of Hollywood come to work every single day. And speaking of big names, they don't get much bigger than the Emmy and Oscar award-winning star of Ghost, Sister Act, The Color Purple, and she is currently moderator of ABC's The View. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Whoopi Goldberg.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Universal Studio Tour. How am I? Okay, fine. You're saying through Hollywood? Maybe. But if other studios can have a line or a mouse or something, what is wrong with an Oscar-winning work? Besides, I know all about this place. I shot my first movie here with Steven Spielberg on the Universal Backlot, the biggest and busiest fantasy factory in the world. So let's go. Universal got its start in 1912 when visionary Carl Laemmle brought his movie company west and opened Universal Pictures. On March 15, 1915, Mr. Laemmle invited the public, that's you guys, to visit his studio, and the Universal Studio Tour was born. You see, Mr. Laemmle believed that movies should make people laugh, or cry, or sit on the edge of their seats. And for the last century, Universal has been doing just that. I'll be back to check up on you guys a little later. In the meantime, I'm going to turn things back over to you guys. Hope you have a great time, everybody. Let's go.
All right, we'll see you later. We will see you guys later. Bye-bye. All right, Universal Studios is part of NBC Universal, one of the world's largest entertainment companies. It includes NBC, USA, Bravo, Sci-Fi, Telemundo, CNBC, MSNBC, Universal High Definition, Universal Sports, the Weather Channel, the Golf Channel, Oxygen, and E! All right, we're headed now into our front line housing 35 sound stages. Inside these buildings, we can create any type of environment the story demands. There's a great example on your left. That's soundstage number 12. Here's a look at some of the fascinating sets we built inside of soundstage 12. We've also worked on scenes for Live Free or Die Hard, Tropic Thunder, Couples Retreat. That was an awesome set they built. See that pool? Yeah. Imagining it built swimming pools, lakes, and even entire cities. The entire city of Blueville for the Grinch was built inside of Soundstage 12. All right, on your left-hand side, you'll see Soundstage 25. This is the busiest soundstage in our lot. But wait, there's more. Soundstage 24, 23, and 22. These are all home to CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. One of the most popular crime dramas on television today, starring Mark Helgenberger and Lawrence Fishburne. These stages are what we call closed sets, meaning that only the immediate cast and crew and invited guests are allowed access. However, the next time you're here at Universal, make sure you check out our VIP experience. That way, you can be one of those invited guests and have the opportunity to walk on and explore actual sets used for filming. On your right, Soundstage 28. In 1925, we recreated the Paris Opera House set for The Phantom of the Opera, starring Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces, in his most famous role. Since that time, we've worked on movies like The Bride of Frankenstein, Psycho, and The Lost World, Jurassic Park. On your left-hand side, Soundstage 27, that's where Jon Favreau directed Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford as cowboys and aliens. We also recreated Mission Control for Apollo 13. Plus, these are some other big scenes shot on stage 27.
Whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood outside his cave, hating the fool.
And now, moving from the big screen to the small screen.
We'll be there in a minute.
The sound stages we're passing here on your right-hand side are where we work on a lot of our popular television shows. Our television history goes back more than 70 years when the transmission of the opening day ceremonies of the 1939 New York World's Fair. Since that time, we've gone on to create some of the most popular shows on network TV, including The Cosby Show, the Law and Order franchise, Saturday Night Live, The Voice, The Apprentice, 30 Rock. Also, in Soundstage 44, that's who we work on the popular television show, Circa. It's starring Greg T. Nelson and Lauren Graham. Check out that show on Tuesday night, NBC. Television shows like that one work on an extremely fast schedule. It takes a week to complete one episode of a television show. Movies, on the other hand, totally different stories. They can take months, even years, to complete. On your left-hand side are the bungalows. They are production offices for some of the top production companies in all of Hollywood. Yeah, we've got production companies like Illumination Entertainment, for example, based there. They're responsible for the blockbuster hit Despicable Me and Hop. Yeah. Hey, did you guys see Mr. Potato Head out there? Well, he's representing Hasbro. Universal is going to collaborate with Hasbro to come up with a couple of movies based on some of Hasbro's most popular board games. Can you imagine Monopoly, the movie? And what about Stretch Armstrong or Battleship? All possibilities. They could be coming to theaters near you very soon. All right, that should do it for the front lot portion of our tour. We're now headed to the back lot where we shoot the big stuff. June 1st of 2008, a devastating fire swept through our back lot, destroying almost 4 acres. Well, we knew all along that we had to rebuild. Here's a look at a speeded-up version of that rebuilding process of our Metropolitan set. Almost 4 years after that tragic event, we're proud to take you through the new and improved Backlot locations, our Metro set. Now, what appears to be made out of brick, stone, marble is actually foam rubber, fiberglass, and chicken wire. A lot of these aren't even complete structures. They're what we call facades. We only build the front and the sides of the structures because that's all the camera needs to see. On your left is our London Square. Looks just like the upscale flats around Parliament. And this is a very flexible set. It could be a church, a temple. The back part with the double columns looks like a palace. And the side of it looks like a period courthouse or schoolhouse, all kinds of possibilities. And the mural behind you that you see there, yeah, that's adds to our cityscape. Well, now we're about to enter our fabulous New York street. Yeah. On your right, you can see the Park Terrace Hotel. And we also have our own Macy's building set. Yeah, that's it, on your left there. And we also have our own Broadway theater district. You see the marquee. Yeah, these get changed to represent a lot of different time periods. Now, here's a big change for our New York street. We've increased the height of these actual sets. Structures are now 50 feet and taller. This gives the camera the sensation that they're just like the real ones in New York City. It looks just like we picked up 34th Street in the Big Apple and brought it right here to Southern California. Here's a look at more scenes filming around our metro set. Alright, now we've also worked on the CBS television series How I Met Your Mother, starring Joe Patrick Harris. And we've worked on Transformers. Now that had a lot of special effects. It was very visual. They had a lot of things out and about because there was big action happening on our New York street for Transformers. David Fox, Shia LaBeouf, and Tyrese. And we also have worked on, let's see, there was, Spider-Man 2. And this is the new deal. The Amazing Spider-Man. That's the new one. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone will star. That's going to come out July 3rd of 2012. So you heard it here first. The Amazing Spider-Man. That's in the works as we speak. Now, let's see. We've got, Captain America, First Avenger. Yeah, that's going to be quite exciting and very important scenes from that movie also filming here. We're very proud of our Metropolitan set. The lights, the camera, the action have all returned here. And this is one of the most sought-after locations to work on big scenes for television shows and movies. We had some of the top professionals in the industry involved with the planning process of all this. An award-winning team. One of the members, Steven Spielberg. He personally supervised the entire rebuilding process of our Metropolitan set. So, we have a street. Notice the streets as we take the tour. All of them are named after Universal icons. And, of course, Steven Spielberg is a Universal icon, so naturally there's a street named in his honor. So we'll pause for just a second and pay tribute to Steven Spielberg, director, producer extraordinaire, and some of his best work.
I don't know, 16 years old, and I began hanging out at Universal during my summers. When I went to college nearby, I continued to come on the lot and try to become a director. Universal sort of is my birthplace. This is the place I consider my first home, and I love it here, and I keep coming back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Steven Spielberg has been a long-time collaborator here at Universal Studios Hollywood. But so has Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island. The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island. We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. You know, he is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles. Everybody, we're back to Skull Island.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there is a technical difficulty here. We're going to communicate with our technicians and find out if we are able to redo the entire process, okay? Everyone just kind of hang tight, and I'll be back with more information in just a minute. Alright, you know what? That's one thing about Hollywood. You have one take, two takes. We're going to have our second take around. How about that, huh? Woo! Yeah, you guys get to experience it again. So hold on to those glasses.
Since bursting onto the big screen in 1933, King Kong has become one of the most powerful and enduring icons in cinematic history. His legacy expands over 7 decades, transcending the medium and elevating the colossal giant into a pop culture phenomenon. Keeping that legend alive, Universal Studios Hollywood has maintained a constant home for the beloved beast. Since his dramatic debut in 1986, the 30-foot-tall, 7-ton animatronic Kong quickly became a much-loved fixture on the Universal Backlot, terrifying millions of studio tour guests for over 20 years.
Well, over the years, I visited Universal as a tourist, and then more recently, when we were working on our movie, and so I got to experience the old Kong attraction, so I was quite familiar with it.
That attraction for its time was pretty groundbreaking.
Employing the most complex animatronics and special effects of their time, Universal ride creators helped raise the bar in the world of theme park design. The banana breath-scented gorilla was an innovative marvel and truly a fan favorite. Until...
But today, Universal Studios, a sprawling Hollywood movie and tourist icon, was swept by a massive fire that destroyed the popular King Kong attraction.
All right, everybody, one more try. All right, we're going to go in and check out King Kong. You know, this is a big deal, you know, and ever since King Kong came here, it's been big news.
We're here live in Santa Monica, where residents of this gorgeous and normally serene seaside hamlet have woken up this morning with a rather big surprise.
We were totally driving to work, and all of a sudden this, like, thing, it, like, came out of the right side.
Out of nowhere.
All of a sudden, like, there was these big, huge footsteps that were just all over the sand. And it was like 15 feet by like 15 feet.
I just swerved, and it... So I was just coming out for my morning yoga, and suddenly there's these giant footsteps everywhere, and complete chaos. We held it. We were the block here. We were the block.
We were around it.
I know. Make sure people were okay.
All of a sudden there was these big noises, and I was...
First time it didn't really work well, but now we can go again.
Okay, glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
called the movie. Recently, this attraction received a Top Visual Effects Award. Now, this is the very first time an award of this caliber has been presented to a theme park attraction. And now, the word from the filmmakers over at Duex Digital.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kongs from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where people are looking. They're looking straight ahead, they're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's one giant shot, and this tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience is a hell of a ride.
Okay. All right, everyone, you can take off your 3D glasses now. You won't be needing these anymore during the tour, so put those away in a safe place. But if you have your cameras, get those ready. Yeah, this is a great photo op. You can get a picture of our famous picture cars. Yeah, and there they are. A picture car is defined as any vehicle photographed on the set of a movie, a commercial, or a television show. Now, some of our picture cars, well, they've actually gone on to become even more famous than the big stars who have driven them. Filmmakers have really come to rely on picture cars to supercharge their films. And just the right picture car could either make or break a big Hollywood blockbuster. And that's especially true for full throttle productions like The Fast and Furious.